By the church anniversary, we're going to formalize. But I wanted to introduce to you your pastors. Proud of you. Don't get it twisted. I'd be proud of you if you were driving for the post office.
What if I told you that one of the most well-known pastors in the world, Jakes, the leader of the Potter's Home, suddenly stood down from his important position, and no one truly knew the exact reason why? The reality behind his unexpected choice has been shrouded in mystery until now. His daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, has now stepped up and given a side of the tale that no one anticipated coming. The luminary, what she said is surprising, and it's not just about family problems. This might revolutionize all you thought you knew about the Jakes family. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to unveil the true reason why T.D. Jakes took the daring choice to walk aside from his throne and the familial secrets that could well undermine the foundation of the church itself. For years, T.D. Jakes has been a towering figure in the Christian world, recognized for his strong preaching, his leadership of one of the biggest churches in the United States, and his influence that stretches beyond not just the religion community, but also the entertainment business. But lately, the inconceivable occurred. T.D. Jakes stepped down, causing many to ask, why? The abrupt departure of a leader of his level brought up many stories, ideas, and suspicions. Was it health? Did anything go wrong inside his ministry? Or was there more to this tale than meets the eye? Many assumed that the truth would never come to light, but now his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, has came forward to put the truth right. In this video, we're looking into what Sarah Jakes Roberts has disclosed regarding her father's decision to stand down, the stunning reasons behind it, and what this means for the Potter's house and the future of the Jakes family ministry. Stick with us, because the information she's provided are nothing short of jaw-dropping. The word that T.D. Jakes was stepping down from his position as the head of the Potter's house came as a great shock to the globe. He has been at the head of the ministry for decades, growing it into one of the biggest and most important churches in the world. His strong sermons, worldwide reach, and humanitarian efforts had secured his standing as a spiritual leader to millions. But then, out of nowhere, T.D. Jakes made the remarkable decision to stand away. It wasn't a choice taken lightly, and it definitely wasn't something anybody anticipated, particularly given how powerful his influence had been inside the church and the community. The initial reaction from the public varied from anxiety to bewilderment. Was T.D. Jakes ill? Was it a personal matter? What occurred to make this guy, who had committed his life to the church, decide to walk away from everything? For months, rumors ran rampant. Some insiders hinted to rising pressures, while others whispered about divisions among the church hierarchy. But none of this could have prepared the world for what was to come next. The actual reason why he decided to stand down, and how his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, ultimately disclosed the truth. For months, Sarah Jakes Roberts stayed relatively quiet about her father's plan to stand down. As one of the most important voices in the ministry, many anticipated her to have a front-row ticket to the drama. She had previously shown herself as a formidable speaker and leader inside the Christian community, but the public had yet to hear from her on this specific topic. Then, one day, Sarah broke her quiet. In an exclusive interview, she stated that her father's choice was not one of weakness or personal failure. It was about something far deeper, preserving his health and legacy. She said that her father's heavy obligations had taken a toll on him over the years. The continual pressure, the emotional stress, and the physical strain of managing an empire like the Potter's house had left him wondering his capacity to continue at the pace that had made him a household figure. T.D. Jakes had been devoting so much of himself to others that he was, in a way, losing touch with the things that meant most to him: his health, his family, and his peace of mind. But Sarah didn't stop there. She recalled a devastating moment when she explained how her father wrestled with guilt about not being able to maintain the same level of leadership as previously. The continual balancing effort of maintaining his personal life, his ministry, and his family was taking its toll in ways the world could not see. She told about how her family had rallied around him, expressing their support, but ultimately the choice was his to make. In her own words, she stated, "He elected to stand down for his health and to enable new leadership to grow inside the church. It wasn't about being weak. It was about being smart." When Sarah Jakes Roberts talked about her father's personal reckoning, it instantly triggered a torrent of inquiry. What precisely did she intend by this? What were the tough issues T.D. Jakes had to face in his private life? Ones that finally prompted him to move away from his post as the leader of the Potter's House. Sarah stated that her father's crisis wasn't simply about his physical condition or the difficulties of managing one of the greatest megachurches in the world. It was about a deeper spiritual battle that he had been grappling with for some time. According to Sarah, T.D. Jakes had reached a moment in his life when he started doubting if he was fulfilling his actual mission. Despite his accomplishment, there remained a feeling of discontent, nearly a spiritual tiredness that couldn't be denied. For someone who had established a worldwide ministry from the bottom up, this knowledge was not easy to absorb. T.D. Jakes has long been recognized for his strong, confident leadership and his steadfast faith, but behind closed doors, he started to doubt if continuing to head such a massive institution was the best way to respect his beliefs and legacy. It was during this moment of reflection that T.D. Jakes made the choice to stand aside, not only for his health, but for the future of the ministry itself. He knew that to stay at the head while facing these internal problems may imperil the fundamental basis of the church he had founded. So, in an act of humility and wisdom, he took the tough decision to transfer the torch. Sarah stated that her choice was also about empowering the next generation. T.D. Jakes knew that he was not the only one capable of guiding the church forward. His daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, along with other young leaders in the church, has been moving into increasing responsibilities over the last 3 years, proving their willingness to guide the church into its next chapter. This wasn't about weakness. It was about trusting the future of the ministry to someone who could lead with new vision. As Sarah Jakes Roberts and her father, T.D. Jakes, had come to grips with his choice to step aside, there remained one huge obstacle that lied ahead: the succession plan. Who would assume the reins of the Potter's home and guarantee the legacy of this historic ministry continued? While many expected Sarah would effortlessly slip into the leadership position, the reality was considerably more challenging. Within the boundaries of the church, there were other powerful figures, ministers, pastors, and elders, who had their own thoughts about who should be the next leader. T.D. Jakes' choice to stand down was one of tremendous significance, not only for his own family, but for the whole community. The tension continued to mount as various groups inside the church started to make their views known. Some were in full favor of Sarah, feeling that she was the one most equipped to carry on her father's legacy. Others, however, were more hesitant. They questioned whether Sarah was ready to manage the great responsibility that came with heading a church of 30,000 members. After all, she had just recently moved into a more prominent job and wasn't as seasoned in the administration of such a vast corporation. One major person in this discussion was Tor Roberts, Sarah's husband. As the co-pastor of the Potter's House in Denver, he had formed his own ministry and acquired a significant following. Some questioned if Tor would have a greater role in the leadership of the megachurch after T.D. Jakes stepped down. Others were worried that his engagement may produce a conflict of interest or make it impossible for Sarah to lead independently. In the middle of all this, Sarah's public opinion was obvious. She was ready. She had been carefully trained by her father and had already showed exceptional leadership in her own way. But there were still naysayers inside the church who thought that a smoother transition was required. Would Sarah's leadership bring about the new energy the church needed, or would it end in a power struggle between rival factions within the ministry? The tale took a dramatic turn when reports started to circulate regarding a secret meeting conducted among the top leadership of the Potter's House. This wasn't just any normal gathering. It was a closed-door debate that may perhaps decide the destiny of the Potter's House. This wasn't just any normal gathering. It was a closed-door conversation that might possibly decide the destiny of the church's leadership. And Sarah Jakes Roberts' future as the next leader was at the center of it all. Word of this gathering escaped to certain members of the church, and murmurs started to circulate. People were on edge, anxious to find out what was said, and more crucially, what choices had been taken behind the scenes. T.D. Jakes, while standing down, was still active in influencing the path of the church, and this meeting was one of his last important actions as the senior leader. In this covert meeting, it was revealed that not everyone in the church leadership was ready to give over the reins to Sarah, despite her credentials and clear vision for the church's future. There was a developing division between the senior ranks concerning the future route for the Potter's House. Some of the older pastors and church authorities were strongly anchored in tradition, and they wanted someone with a more established ministry history to take over, someone they could trust to uphold the heritage of T.D. Jakes. The debate turned heated. Arguments came out, with some leaders arguing for a new, energetic leadership under Sarah, while others believed that change should come gradually, or even that the leadership should go to someone with more years of experience in managing a church of this proportions. However, what startled everyone in the room was the unexpected proposition that arose during this conversation. According to various reports, one of the church's senior elders advised that Sarah and Tour Roberts should co-lead the Potter's House, not as autonomous personalities, but as a partnership with a common vision for the church's future. This proposal was contentious. Some hoped that having Sarah and Tour at the head would bring fresh energy to the church, blending Sarah's enthusiasm with Tour's business flair. Others, however, were worried that this move may lead to conflict between Sarah and Tour, considering that they were both leaders in their own right. Could they work together successfully, or would the weight of the duty rip their relationship apart? T.D. Jakes, who had kept silent for most of the conversation, eventually stood up, expressing his support for the notion of co-leadership. His rationale was straightforward. The church needed both new vision and stability, and with Sarah and Tour together, they could give a mix of both. However, he made it clear that the final decision was in the hands of the leadership team and the congregation. The suggestion was received with varied emotions, and as the meeting finished, no one was confident what the ultimate outcome would be. But there was one thing that everyone could agree on. The destiny of the Potter's House was now more unclear than ever before. Just days after the secret leadership meeting, the tension around the Potter's House reached its apex.